Market stats for January 2024 came out this week, and there's been a ton of media attention when it comes to the Toronto real estate market. Let's break that down in 3 minutes because I know stats aren't exactly the most fun things to talk about, and I'll discuss what I've been seeing on the ground level here as we've gone through January and into February. I'm Michael Ouzas, I'm a realtor here in Toronto, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think of these stats by the end of this video. If you ever want to book in a call with me, click on that first link in the description down below. As promised, I said this video would be about 3 minutes or less, so here are my 7 key takeaways for the month of January as we head into February. Number one, sales on January 2024 compared to 2023. The context to that is that 2023 was one of the slowest sales on record for Toronto real estate. I really believe that anything could have beaten that based on the level of sales in January 2023. Same story goes for new listings in January of 2024, up compared to 2020. Doesn't exactly translate into more choice because we did see more sales. The absorption rate has been higher in 2024 compared to 2023. For condos, and this is a super important metric to watch, we went from 6 months of inventory, ultra buyer territory, to just over 4 downtown core. If we look at Toronto CO1, which is where the biggest cluster of condos is, we've seen that creep into the 3s. So we went from ultra buyer territory into more of a balanced market, and we are trending into seller's territory. It'll be interesting as February moves along how that's out. And if these condos that maybe terminated in December come back to market for February, that'll be what we're watching. And that being said, on the investor side, there's plenty of investors who maybe have seen rates come down, and that's made them a little more acceptable with cash flow level is going into 2024. The key number to watch in months of inventory is 2. When we hit 2 months of inventory, things go absolutely on fire. And that's because we have a ever-growing population for the city of Toronto, and the demand for housing hasn't gone away. If we get down to 2 across the board for different property types, we will definitely see prices increase for each unique property type. Another factor for condos, prices remain to be sticky. We are not seeing as many deals as we saw in the last few months, and those deals are dissipating by the weeks. If those condo deals or those sales to list price ratios start to creep closer to in and around what they're listed at, or even maybe above list price. Semis were definitely the hottest property in the city of Toronto in January of 2024 and still remain to be the case. The reason I think semis are the most hot properties as we go along is that they're typically that sandwich between the step-up buyers, maybe someone who's been in a condo or a townhouse looking to get into that freehold property, or a downsizer who maybe has too big of a house and wants to get into something a bit smaller, but condo life isn't really for them. We are seeing a ton of action in and around the city, especially in the hot areas of Toronto. The last takeaway for January is that prices were down overall. However, the first 2 weeks of January were incredibly slow. The second 2 weeks of January, things picked up like wildfire. We saw multiple offers well into the double digits for properties in and around Toronto and the greater Toronto area. And those hot semis in the city, we were seeing well over 10 offers on many properties in and around the downtown core for those semi-detached properties. And we're even starting to see it a little bit when it comes to condos. Something that we're going to pay attention to as we head into February. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below on where things are at in February. I'm Michael Ouzas. Thanks for watching.